Jefferson NBC Sports Group, and I am here.
I'm a post-production manager, and I'm in. I'm a front house engineer, and I'm most definitely. I'm a sound designer and composer, and I'm in.
Eu sou um editor e eu tô lá.
I'm a recording engineer and I'm a audio engineer, and I'm in.
I'm a guitar player, and I'm in.
I'm an artist and I'm in.
I'm an editor, and I'm in.
Sou instrutor para todos. I'm in.
I'm a front house engineer, and I'm in.
I'm editor guitar. I'm in.
I'm a musician. I'm in.
I'm a video editor, and I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm a lifestyle engineer, and I'm in.
I'm John Devon, a musician and songwriter, and I'm in.
I'm the Avid community, and together we can change the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ACA Chair and Founding Member, David Mash.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Avid Connect 2015. On behalf of the ACA, I would like to thank everyone for being here and being in. As we mark the first anniversary of the ACA, it is inspiring to see such a crowd joining us today. There are over 1,000 of you and your peers in this room with us today. You join us from over 50 countries. Representing today are 7 of the top 10 biggest Hollywood studios, as well as 7 of the top 10 broadcasting companies in the world. You're here from over 485 unique organizations from all industry segments: audio, post-production, broadcast, live sound, education, government, and more. There are Avid Connect alumni here and new ACA members that we welcome for the first time. Many of you have shared your vision for this event, and I'm looking forward to working with you and looking forward to the value of collaboration and networking that we'll get out of this event. To start us off this morning with an opening keynote, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Avid's Chairman, President, and CEO, Luis Hernandez Jr.
Good morning to everybody and welcome. Good morning, everybody. Okay. We got to get going here in Las Vegas, huh? Well, David has been fantastic. Can you imagine starting up a new company, which is essentially what the ACA has been, with 1,000 new employees on day one? It's been quite an amount of work for him and all the executive folks and all the leaders of the advisory committees. So thanks so much for coming. It is fantastic to see so many of you here today embracing the ACA partnership. Remember, this is your organization, and its power is a direct function of your involvement. And thank you, by the way, for inviting me here today to update you on what's new at Avid. I'd also like to give a special thanks to our sponsors, because they are critical to enabling us to put on this event. Hopefully you've had a chance to say hello to one of our gold sponsors, I should say, not one of, the gold sponsor, which is Cloud Praise. They have been simply fantastic. I hope you've gotten a chance to get to know them. And also, I'm very excited to have our platinum sponsor here with us today, HP Workstations, a partner of ours, an incredible partner of ours for over 18 years with Avid. So thanks to both of them. They've been incredible. Check out them and all of our sponsors at our Solutions Showcase. All right. It's really amazing how far we have come just since last year. Only our second year here together with this annual gathering, and membership and attendance has grown dramatically. You know, this is an incredible time for our industry. And last year was in many ways, just a beginning. A beginning for Avid, a beginning for us together in our next phase of our journey. You see, we set out to address some of the most important issues that the industry faces, building on our heritage and our reach to over 140 countries around the world, with some of the most talented creative professionals and well-regarded media companies in the world. It all culminated in some of the most sweeping and ambitious product announcements since our inception. We also launched the ACA, we launched the Avid Advantage, and we've had a dramatic acceleration of our business. It's been fun, it's been a lot of work, and together we have been busy. And we have been blessed with an incredible community, pushing us to do better, pushing us to lead. And the ACA has already had a significant influence on our work, from debating metadata standards to prioritizing feature enhancements to defining the security elements, which just yesterday they voted on an ad hoc committee to really step that effort up because we know how important it is to everybody, to beta testing some of the products that you're going to be seeing here today on stage. The ACA partnership has become powerful. And this too, though, is just a beginning. And you've made it all happen. You've made it happen by being our partner, by believing in us, by putting your trust and faith in us. And together, we're reshaping the industry. Now, my team has a lot of fun, of course, at my expense, tracking everywhere I've been all around the world since the last time we met here last year, and talking about Avid everywhere. And there hasn't been a region that I haven't visited, and I can tell you we have a vocal following. It's really our secret ingredient. Your candor, your partnership, your support has been critical. And we've had over 100 follow-up events all around the world, and it's been great meeting so many of you. And by the way, team, thanks so much for reminding me where I am today. I could really use the help. I can see the little red dot. I think that looks like Vegas there, doesn't it? You know, it's been interesting because a lot of people, as I've traveled around, have congratulated me. They've thanked me for what we're doing or trying to do for the industry. And those on social media who follow me and interact with me, that's also been great, all the comments and support and suggestions that we've been getting. But make no mistake about it. We know that it's our partnership with you that makes all this happen. And for that, I want to thank you. You know, I can't wait to fill you in on the latest, which is what I'll be sharing with you here today. And it's important to me that you, the Avid community, gets to hear this first before we roll out these products at NAB in a day or so. So, let's get started. What a fantastic year it's been for storytelling, and for all of you. You know, from the most inspiring news stories, the sporting events that united us, TV productions that made us chuckle, the digital games that captured our imagination, music and live production that excited our senses, and of course, films that inspired us. What a year for our industry, and you represent the best of the current generation. You know, for our clients, I'm so proud of the recognition that they've seen. From the ACE Awards, to the Grammys, to the Oscars, almost every major award in every category, our clients have taken home. It's been fun. It's been really exciting. And we've always been part of the family. There with you every step of the way, working to find the joy out of the work that we do together. And as exciting as many people see our industry, we know that your work is important. Because stories have always been a part of our social fabric. And you represent the best storytellers of our generation. You know, I have to admit, I feel so privileged and humbled with the work that I see. You know, my last visit, before going back to Boston and getting ready for this event, and all the fun and chaos that goes on with that, was to Stamford, Connecticut. I visited NBC Sports. They should be here in the room somewhere. Before that, I was at Full Sail University, amazing partner of ours on the education side. I was before that in the Middle East with Al Jazeera and NBC and Saudi TV and others in the region. And the reason I mention that is not just to go over my last few weeks, was that it doesn't matter where I go, anywhere in the world, the people and the work are truly amazing. And last year was just the latest examples of the stories that connect all of us. Tools today, though, allow us to connect more powerfully, more globally than before. And this was on full display this year. Congratulations on a great year. Give yourselves a round of applause on an excellent year here in the meeting. You know, we were all born storytellers. Even before the written word, there were drawings, there were sounds, there were images connecting all of us. To inform, to inspire, to educate. And technology has always played a key role in storytelling. So it's no surprise that as technology begins to accelerate, so too are the tools for telling stories. And some credit Avid, which actually starting the digitization of the workflow. We started, as you know, 26 years ago, taking film and converting it to a digital file record. We actually converted it back to analog to continue its journey. Of course, that has all changed today. A lot has changed in the last 10 to 15 years, and for those of you in audio, how many people remember manually recalling mixes and aligning tape machines? Does anybody in audio remember doing that? And now all that's just done with digital technologies, like a product some people know called Pro Tools. Anybody heard of Pro Tools here? A couple? I hope. Let's hear it for Pro Tools. All right, the video is going to be next, so I'm going to give audio one more chance. Let's hear it for Pro Tools. For video, how many of you remember how irritating it was to deal with standards like NTSC and PAL and CCAM? Anybody remember those? Yeah? Okay. But we remember that we thought HD was going to make everything so much simpler. You guys remember that? What did we end up with? Everything got worse. But good news, I hear, people. I hear that UHD is on its way and it's going to solve all our problems again. I'm not sure if we should hold our collective breaths, but those were considered advanced technologies back then. Just like the Palm Pilot or the You've Got Mail ping from AOL, it's a distant memory for many, even though it really wasn't that long ago. And you know, because technology is changing almost every aspect of our lives, not everyone adapts at the same rate. I'm going to play a video here that represents one perspective. Check this out.
To reality? Yeah, because everything is amazing right now and nobody's happy. Like, in my lifetime, the changes in the world have been incredible. When I was a kid, we had a rotary phone. We had a phone that you had to stand next to. And you had to dial it. Yes. You realize how primitive? You're making sparks in a phone. And you actually would hate people with zeros in their numbers because it was more like, oh, this guy's got 2 zeros. Screw that guy. Why do you want to... And then if they called and you weren't home, the phone would just ring lonely by itself. And then if you wanted money, you had to go in the bank. It was open for like 3 hours. And stand in line, write yourself a check like an idiot. And then when you ran out of money, you just go, well, I can't do any more things now. I can't do any more things. That's it, yeah. That was it. And even if you had a credit card, the guy would go, oh, and he'd bring out this whole chunk, and he'd relate.
I like this name, I'll admit it. Actually, my son is here. You may see him running around, so we have the third running around here, and my daughters here, Kelsey and Louie. Well, I have no idea how many zeros I had in my phone number. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm not sure how many people I pissed off. I didn't really think about it. I do remember recording my answering machine message, and that being a big deal. Does anybody remember recording, and it had a set time, and you had to practice it out? Maybe that was the earliest form of media for some of us, right? And some of those were, you know which ones annoyed me actually was when the person answered like, hi, this is Lewis, and then they'd say, I got you, leave a message. Do you guys remember those? Yeah, those are fun. Tonight I want to hear your old recorded messages. I still remember a couple of mine. I also remember trying to follow the phone cord around the corner to where my sisters were hiding out to get some privacy and stretching that cord as long as possible. Anybody would do that at their house? Yeah, remember that too? Yeah, so a lot has changed, and in 15 years, I'm sure we'll be looking back at some of the technologies we have today and laugh at the fact that we were using them. We might laugh at the fact that our smartphones are limited, for instance, by a physical screen, something that is changing pretty rapidly. And these changes, shouldn't surprise us, because digitization is connecting us in ways that we don't always appreciate. And sometimes we don't stop to even notice how we shop, how we meet people, how we pay for things, how we get a ride, how we communicate, how we educate ourselves. Technology is changing every aspect of the way we live. Some of you may know my father actually taught computer science, and it's been interesting to see how it's gone from the lab coats to the production floor to making more employees more efficient to now re-engineering every aspect of how we live. And along the way, it's of course altered how we live, how we work, and how we play, but it's also altered industries, and it's altering our business model as well. And why should media be any different? From live streaming video to our favorite movies, Hulu, Spotify, SoundCloud, binge watching, our favorite TV shows. I mentioned my 2 kids are here. How many have their kids binge watching all the shows in one afternoon? Anybody experience that? And then the next day you go in their room, and what are they doing again? Binge watching the same thing. Now, how many are going to admit that you do the same thing? Anybody here? Yeah, there's a few of you. And that dependable, expected business model is also a distant memory. You see, today, the digital connection between the creator and the consumer has allowed us to connect with each other much more powerfully, much more directly, more collaboratively, and more efficiently. And in the process, it's creating new challenges and new opportunities for anyone in the media ecosystem. The good news is that humans have decided that rich media is the preferred way to communicate. All forms of rich media consumption is going through the roof. It's going crazy. It's exploding. And lower priced tools have made it easier to create more content than ever. And as a result, the competition for viewership, listenership, advertising is more intense than ever. And this is actually the best part of the business challenge. Because most of our heritage clients, the people who've done this for a living, we know how to compete on great content. But so this is the most understood problem. Putting even more pressure on great content to rise above the noise of this explosive content creation that the world is experiencing today. But that's just one of the industry challenges. You see, it's really all the other challenges that are creating the real problems for us economically. Everywhere I go, clients are dealing with some form of the challenges you see up on the screen here today. They still need to create great content. We just went over that. And that pressure is more than ever. That hasn't changed. But now making it available through more channels and more device for most of our clients means more cost. And the biggest change, I think, is probably the pressure to maximize the value of each asset over a longer period of time. This is where metadata tagging, rights management, yield optimization, this is where channel optimization starts to come into play. Again, more cost to complete the entire workflow and the economic model. And of course, while we're doing all those things, you have to do everything more efficiently. Now, what's interesting about collaboration is creative folks, and humans in general, I would argue, would prefer to do things together, side by side, working hand in hand. But the combination of pressures on efficiencies and working with the best are causing people to realize that sometimes you have to work with somebody on another part of the world efficiently as though they're working next to you. And that's why collaborative technologies have become so important. And everywhere I go, every client is dealing with adapting to some form of these challenges here before you. You know, I was speaking to a board member the other day of one of the largest media companies in the world. And they said that it's these challenges that represent the most significant dilemma for their board. And the reason they were putting so much weight is they were saying it's impacting how they organize the company, the people they hire, and the technology tools. And they're reevaluating everything. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention the most popular topic of all today, security. Security has become huge in some way, shape, or form in every segment and every market that we deal with. Some of you know that I was in banking before this industry. I was in media before, and then I went to banking, now I'm back in media. Tell the scariest thing about being back in media is a lot of my old friends are relaxing, retiring, but the scary part is some of them are very important jobs now. That's a joke. Good. Laugh track is working. Besides being in banking, I actually founded a digital fraud and crime company that maybe some of you have heard of. And I never imagined that I'd be talking so much about those same topics here in this industry. It is a rapidly intensifying issue. But you know what? We are already in a digital World War III. There are attacks literally happening all the time, every day, continuously, all around the world. No vendor, no government, no single organization can solve this problem. It's a collective will that will solve this problem. And technology has enabled the best and worst of our global community. The same strengths and weaknesses of our society are on full display here, and they'll begin impacting storytelling, just like they'll impact every other aspect of our lives. Because the good folks and the bad folks will be waging this battle globally. And it's not aligned around country or sovereign state. It's usually just around people who want to do harm to others. You know, for Avid, we have already invested in an array of security measures across the platform. And we remain intensely focused in this area, an area that we intend to lead. The way we're going to lead is by incorporating IT principles in a media-savvy way. Avid wants to lead in the media component of the workflow for security, because we know that the framework that IT department will set doesn't always factor in the needs of the efficient workflow. This is where we think we can add value. Your assets are just too important for us not to participate in. Now, you're going to hear more about how we're moving forward in this area. You can check out the new security white paper and check out the security breakout session later on this afternoon. Okay. It seems clear that the world is filled with complexity, risk, and enormous opportunity for those who adapt. Our industry is in transformation. You know what's strange? As I visited the world and attended events, most innovations are coming from clients, not the vendors. And I felt like someone, anyone, needed to step forward. And Avid is attempting to show the way. Now, let's talk about the economics of our business. Don't worry, it's more exciting. Economics isn't exciting? Oh, okay, I thought I heard a collective sigh. Oh, great, economics. This is important though. Because sometimes when you're knee-deep trying to solve your problems, you don't see the bigger picture about what's happening to the business. And the challenges and changes that I mentioned have radically altered the economics, and it's impacting directly both the economics and the creative teams that we work with. Okay. You see, content creation is growing dramatically, as I went through before. That shouldn't be a surprise. However, the budgets are only going up a small portion. And many are surprised that they're going up at all. Now, all the work that we have to do to distribute and monetize that I mentioned earlier are having an even bigger impact on organizations because of its newness and its complexity. And so the effort going on to monetization is even more significant. And if you look at the budgets, which we pay a lot of attention to, those budgets are actually going up even faster. 3 times as fast. Now, the unintended consequence is the shift away from the creative side to the content. To the monetization side. This transition, these issues that we've been talking about here today actually are having a direct impact on anybody who's on the creative side of this business. And it might feel to you like you're being asked to do more for less. But it's actually a little more dramatic than that. There's actually a shift occurring to the dollars and the pressures of the business as a result. You see, you no longer have the luxury of just focusing on a particular function. If we can build the tools to monetize into the creative process efficiently, those budgets can go back to where they belong, into the creative process. The problem today isn't just about a downloaded editor via the cloud. It's not about cheaper storage. It's not even about keeping up with the latest camera, codecs or changes or format. It's the whole thing. It's a comprehensive approach to workflows, and that is what Avid is trying to achieve. In the end, it's pretty straightforward. We need to connect the person with the idea to create content for enjoyment, pleasure, and education of another person, and just bring these two people together. Simply, more powerfully, more efficiently. But there's a lot of noise getting in the way. So how do we solve this? Well, it actually is going to take a number of folks. Legislators need to protect creative professionals. I wonder, when did it become okay to steal from an artist? This has to change. Professionals, such as yourselves, need to adopt the latest technologies, embrace the new realities. How you create today impacts how you monetize. And if you want to sustain the joy of creating, we have to think about monetization while we're creating so it can be done more efficiently. Everyone needs to adopt common tools and platforms to make things more efficient. And vendors and partners collectively need to adopt open and controlled standards to also drive down cost. Things like automated tags for audio, as an example, that live with the file encrypted so you can't remove them, so that no asset will ever be used without the artist being compensated. We can get there if we work together. We must all do our part. All right, is it clear where we're coming from on the economics? Yeah? All right, then I'll calm down. I feel like I got that off my chest. We can move on. All right, and that's why we launched our 3 pillars. We created the ACA to collaborate more deeply with you so we can fight together to solve some of these problems. We launched the Avid Advantage, so we were showing an equal investment in servicing you better.